there, friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Amy here, and today I am going to bring to you another segment of my monthly favorite photos. So I've been sharing with you for almost 2 years now this project that was inspired by my good friend Stacy Julian, where every month I pick one photo on my camera roll and I document it. Super simple. Lots of times I'll use what has been sitting on my desk, and I make a page of the photo. For the photo, I have the month, and that's it. There's no journaling. So I started this. This was a project back in 2020. Right? Because it's 2025, and I had so much fun doing it that I have kept it going through 2025. And so what we are going to do now is our photo, my favorite photo for September. I'm actually getting it done before the end of the month. So here is the photo. And this is a photo of my husband and I. Actually, 2 weekends ago, we went apple picking up north of Charlotte. It's one of my most favorite fall activities to do. Growing up in New England, we always went apple picking, and I'm just thrilled that we have kept the tradition going with our kids as they were growing up. When my parents would come to visit, we would go apple picking, and so we went away and had a lot of fun. And I love this photo of us. I actually documented this photo on a 2-page 12 by 12 layout using the, I believe it's called Keeping Traditions scrapbooking workshop kit from Stampin' Up. So if you're familiar with the scrapbooking workshop kits from Close to My Heart, Stampin' Up worked their little behinds off to bring 12 by 12 scrapbooking to Stampin' Up, and I love them for it. So you get the scrapbooking workshop kit, and you get the guides, all the cutting diagrams for all of the paper, and then step-by-step instructions for assembling your pages. Now, I always like to get the scrapbooking workshop kits, whether I do the pages as the instructions lead us through, or if I do my own thing, which is what I did so far with this kit. But I love getting the scrapbooking workshop kits because you get exclusive things in them. So you get your DSP papers, they're double-sided, and you get a sticker sheet. So you can see this is great for documenting the holidays. This is great for doing like a Days of December or December Daily album. You've got your titles, you've got borders, you've got sentiments. Then you get punch outs, die cuts, and these punch out very easily. So you've got some nice borders, some journaling spots, and more images there. And let me show you, you get 2 sheets of those. I knew there was a second sheet. Here's actually one of those scallop die cut sheets. And what's nice about these is they're labeled on the back, so you know what page each of these die cuts go on. So here's the second page. So another journaling spot, lots of poinsettias. I love the red bow, and some more sentiments. Now let me show you really quickly the DSP. So like I mentioned, it's double-sided. This is oh geez, I just had the colors. Do we have them here? I know that I have, here it is. So the colors are cherry cobbler. I knew it was a dessert. Cherry cobbler, old olive, pool party, real red, secret sea, and white willow. So here are the patterns, and they're double-sided. And you could probably see why I chose this collection. And you also get your place photo here markers. Boy, this is all just shoved into this bag. You can tell I've loved on this. Here's two more patterns that I can show you. So you've got that, just beautiful. And then, oh, that's the cherry cobbler, and then you've got that floral and that stripe. But you can see why I loved this. I think that these colors go perfectly with my photo. So yeah, why not use a holiday scrapbooking workshop kit to document a fall activity like apple picking? So that's what we're going to use, and I will show you. Here is my 2-page layout. So this is the left side, and I paired it with a paper collection called Woven Textures. And let me just show you these. This is still available. Everything I use, I will put in the description box below. So this Woven Textures, doesn't it look like, I mean, if you run your hand on it, you expect it to feel like a basket weave or a burlap. Isn't that beautiful? So you've got this. It's just the DSP Designer Series paper. I mean, it looks 3D. It's fabulous. I love it. So I paired this with it because I thought this kind of gave like the apple basket feel to it. So that's where this pattern is, and then that pattern. And then I just cut strips. So this is a perfect example of where you can use a variety of patterns in small dosages with a whole lot of photos, and it doesn't take away from your pictures. So over here is a sticker and a die cut from the kit. I used my stylish shape, I think that's what it's called, for my title matting, my mini alphabet dies that I love. This is a really cool ribbon. Let me get that ribbon. So this ribbon, this would work great kind of like as a zip strip on your page. It's a 1/2 inch wide, and this is called Irregular Weave Trim, and I love it. It's kind of stiff, and I put that behind my title there, and then my title here. And then this is an ephemera piece from one of the new ephemera packs. And then that is a die cut and a sticker from that Traditions kit. So you can see I have the same photo there, so I definitely really like the photo, but this is going to go in our 12 by 12 family album, Things We Do, and I wanted to put this as my September favorite photo. So the size that I do my favorite photos is 6 by 8. So I've got a piece of white willow 6 by 8, and then I went through the stash and I had some of this cherry cobbler, and so I'm thinking and it was the perfect width, 6 by I believe this is 4. Yeah, so that I'm thinking I could put there. And then I pulled out my Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. Love this embossing folder. It's a 6 by 8 size, and I'm gonna have to cut. Oh, actually no, because I can do it that way. So this was just a piece of white willow I had. I'm gonna stick it in my embossing folder, and I want to emboss. So I've got my label facing up, and I'm gonna have to use my regular size die cut machine because this is a 6 by 8 embossing folder. So I've got my one plate. Let me move this. My one plate, my embossing folder, and then my 4 plate. And those of you who have been with me for a while, you know I love the Stampin' Emboss and Die Cut machine from Stampin' Up. All your sandwich recipes are here, so you never have to worry about losing a piece of paper with all your recipes on it. There's no adjusting any tension or anything, and you just run it through. And while I'm talking to you today, October 1st, starts a brand new join special with Stampin' Up. So if you've ever thought about doing what I do, or if you're wanting to get a discount on your crafting supplies, there is an amazing special that started today, and it goes all month long. You can get the starter kit, which is normally $99. You get to choose what you want in your kit. You get to choose $125 worth of product. That includes, on top of that, catalogs and all your business materials, as well as a free paper pumpkin box and free shipping. Well, during the month of October, you can get that kit, that $125 with a product of your choice, for $35. You heard me correctly, $35. Or you could spend the $99, which is the normal price of the kit, and get $190 worth of product. So if you are wanting that Stampin' Die Cut machine, this would be a great time to get that, because you can get that for your starter kit, which is pretty awesome. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer any questions. It would be an honor to have you on my team and help you get started, whether you just want a discount or you want to earn some extra money for the holidays, or to pay off a bill, or put it towards a vacation, whatever. I'm here to answer questions, no strings attached. If you ask questions, it doesn't mean I'm going to haunt you. And if you want to sign up for that great deal, and then you'll have practically 6 months as a demonstrator where you won't even have to do a whole lot. So it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, you can talk to me about that if you have questions. I am going to now take my ink pad. I'm using my Harbor pad from Close to My Heart because I don't have a Secret C regular size. I only have the little Stampin' Spot, and you want a regular size one. So if you have a Stampin' Up ink pad, you can do this, and you just want to very lightly just run your ink, and you can see how the ink is sticking to, it's coloring the embossed side of the paper. And I do like having some of that little I don't know what you call it. It's not really smudging, but I wanted that. That I think adds more character. So that's a cool thing that you can do with a stamp pad and an embossing folder. So now what I'm going to do is trim this to 6 inches wide. And then I'm going to do it about 4 inches tall. So what we more or less did was make our own DSP. And now we will adhere the one DSP, and then we'll adhere this to the top. I love doing this project because it's been, like I said, I'm almost done. I'm going on 2 years of doing it, and I will continue to do it in 2026. Gosh, doesn't that sound odd, 2026? But what it more or less is a picture book, and I like that. So then we've got our photo, and I cut this, and I'm going to adhere my photo so that it kind of reminds me of a Polaroid photo. And I am just using Seal to adhere this. I probably should wash my hands. Whenever I use blue ink, I get it over everything. Okay, and then I have another piece of that DSP, and I thought I would put it right here to kind of separate the two patterns and bring in another color. So how many of you like to apple pick, and what do you like to make with your apples? My mom, here's a fun fact. My mom makes the best apple pie, and she truly does. For 5 consecutive years, she entered her apple pie in an apple pie contest and won 5 years in a row. Actually, the first year, I think she got second place. And then every year after that, she got first place. And she makes it with homemade crusts. And oh my gosh, just thinking about it is making my stomach grumble. But anyway, for the life of me, cannot make apple pie. It's got to be a homemade crust, and I've tried and I have failed miserably, and it's no fun. So I make apple crisp, and I love apple crisp. So that's my claim to fame. But what do you like to make with your apples? I think this weekend I might make an caramel apple dip. We'll see, because we still have some apples. So you can see here, I've got one of those woven texture patterns. I was gonna use this just like I use on my 12 by 12 page, but I thought it resembled the plaid of the embossing folder too much. So I flipped it over, and I like that because it's got that diamond pattern. And what I'm gonna do, this was cut at 3 3/4 by 6 1/4. My photo is a 3 by 4, and so then the mat is 3 1/4 wide by 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do is make a tag out of this. So let's go ahead and adhere this, and I'm going to adhere it so that probably move this. It's even on the bottom and both sides. And then I purposely have more up here because what we're going to do is make it look like a tag. Let me get my snips. And I'm going to cut a corner here and then move this over here to this corner. And then I have a tag. So it's an easy hack when you don't have a tag die. And I think I'm going to, let's see. So yeah, it's going to go this way because this is going to be on the left side in my album. So we can adhere this, and I'm just going to adhere it in the center, put adhesive in the center because we might stick some things underneath for some layering. So I want that on an angle. Then I went through my pulled out my mini alphabet die, which I've been using for the month titles this whole year, and it's one of my favorites. So I love this die because it's one die. So when you run it through, you get all the letters of the alphabet, and you even get doubles of like A's and E's and S's and T's. So the more common letters. And a tip I always share is while I'm watching TV, I'll just run these through the die cut machine. So I have a bunch of letters ready to go on hand. And I like to use the adhesive sheets. You've seen me demonstrate these in many videos because I use them practically every day. But what this is double-sided sticker paper, and I love this because you can see how it's perforated so it's easy to peel the backing off. So you would stick this on your cardstock or your DSP and run it through your die cut machine, and then you have a bunch of stickers. Okay, so I had all the letters to spell September. Although I think I lost my P. S-E-P T-E-M-B-E-R. So I have lost my P, so I am going to go through and pull out a P, and then we can adhere those. But before I do that, I did have some of the die cuts from the Traditions Scrapbooking Workshop kit. So I was thinking that you could do maybe something like this to add some color up here, and then maybe stick these just to give it some interest. I could even trim these a little bit and save the other pieces for another project. So you really do get a nice collection of little bits and pieces in the Scrapbooking Workshop kits. Okay, so I like that. And then I did pull out another favorite stamp set that debuted last year that is... Okay, I just noticed that my phone said low battery, so I'm not sure how much you didn't see of my filming, but I'll just repeat really quickly. I use the die cut pieces that came in the workshop kit, the Scrapbooking Workshop kit, just to add a little bit of interest here. I'm not sure if I got cut off before I trimmed these to make them shorter, because you can use these for other things. You can even make more dovetails or tags out of them. So save everything. So I'm thinking that this could go here. And then this stamp set is one of my favorites. It debuted a year ago, but it is still available. So you can see you've got all these sentiments and sayings, and then all these images, and it does have a die set that goes with it. And I did just so happen to have some apples that were already cut and colored. So I was thinking that maybe I could do an apple right there. And I think that would be really cute. And then this page will be done. I don't know if I want to even use the other apple. I mean, I could. Maybe I will. Let me get my other P, and we'll adhere the month and we'll be done. Okay, I didn't have another P in my stash, so I thought I would just show you how I use the adhesive sheets. So I'm going to peel this off, and I'm going to stick this on the back of my cardstock. Now, if you are using a two-tone cardstock or a DSP that has patterns on both sides, you want to make sure that you adhere your adhesive sheet to the back side. Now, normally I will cut a piece of paper the full size of this and run them through so I have a whole bunch of letters, but because I already have some little pieces cut, I'm just going to do this. There's the P, so I'm gonna put my cardstock right there, and I will run it through my die cut machine really quick, and then we'll be back in business. All right, I have my P, and just as I was finishing cutting it out, look what I found, the P. I knew that would happen, but oh well. All right, so now we're going to adhere our title 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's 9 letters in September, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. So the middle letter is E. So I'm going to get my take your pick tool and use the piercing tool to get my adhesive off, and I'm going to just eyeball this kind of in the center of my photo, and then we can work our way on both sides. Now I always double check and triple check the spelling, the order of the letters, because sometimes when I'm talking I will reverse letters and mix them up. So now we're going to do the T, and the take your pick tool really comes in handy when we're taking off the adhesive sheets. All these letters are done in black, which I think really pops nice with this collection. But the adhesive sheets are a godsend. And I guess I could probably do the rest of this off camera. So let me finish this so I don't bore you, and then we'll just add our little other embellishments and we'll be done. All right, we've got our title. I'm gonna just add some adhesive to these, and my September favorite photo page will be done. Oh, first we should adhere this. Not there. And then this is going to go right here like that. And then I'll put my apple. First I was thinking I would use a dimensional, but I think I'm just going to use some seal. And then I think I'll put that right there. There we go. Favorite photo for September 2025. Again, this is a 6x8 size, and it's starting a new page. So this is going to go in here. Still have to do my August one, but there we go. I'm excited. So I will list in the description box below all the products I use that are still available. The album that I'm using is actually a Story by Stacy product that's retired now, but it's a 6x8 album, and Stampin' Up! Has a great 6x8 binder, very similar to this, and I will link that in the description box below as well. If you do not already follow me, if you could hit that subscribe button and like this video, and I would love to know if you're keeping a favorite photos album, or if you like to work on a smaller canvas, a 6x8 size, or if you're more a traditional 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12. This is the perfect size for this project for me. I also love the 6x8 size for the Days of December album. But appreciate your support and stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.